Awesome. Welcome to another episode of CrossTalk, a ministry of Cross Pointe Church in Sapulpa, Oklahoma. We are so delighted to have you join us again for another episode. We'll start out and we're going to go around the table. We'll start to my right and just let the panel say hello and introduce themselves. So, Miss Lexi, start out, girl.
Hi, it's Justin.
Hello, it's Derek.
Hey, it's Becca.
Hello, it's Aunriana.
And Aunriana is with us tonight, and she's going to talk a lot, right?
Maybe.
Maybe. Lexi, do we have any icebreakers to start out with now? Or
I don't.
no? Okay. All right. I just wasn't sure, but we're so glad to have y'all tonight. And here's the thing: we had some exciting news at church yesterday. I guess by the time this episode airs, it will be a week or so.
Yeah, we
couple
could do.
weeks ago, but we had some exciting news. Justin and Lexi Wallace have accepted the call of God and have stepped into the role of our youth pastors at Cross Pointe. And so we are so excited about that.
Yeah.
And
Very.
so y'all, I want y'all to tell us that it was actually a really short journey from point A to point B to where we're at right now. So tell us about your experience in that.
Okay, so Jamal came and was doing like a leadership get together. Well, I don't know, whatever you want to call it, but get together with the leaders of the church and help us guide us into better leadership.
Yeah.
And he pointed at us as we're sitting around this table or a table up at the church and was like, because we told him that, hey, we're doing media. Lexi does all the Facebook stuff.
Yes.
The podcast, along with me doing the lives on Sunday mornings.
Right.
And working the sound. And he was like, no, y'all have more than just what that's to be called.
Yes.
Then in that, when he said that, Lexi sent me a text message and said, youth leaders.
Uh-huh.
And that was it. And I was like, no, I don't think that's it. No.
Technically, the text message I received is, no, I disagree.
Yeah, no, I disagree. I don't think that was it. Then following that Saturday into Sunday morning, I came down for altar call. Lexi was down there and
Mind you, I did not know Justin had come down there.
and I was like, what is it that Jamal is talking about? What, like, in shorter term, what do you want me to do? What is it that you want me to do, God?
Right.
And so after the altar service, went up there, turned the live off, came down, did my normal steps, went down and sat in the two little red chairs. Me and Lexi normally sat there at the back of the church until everybody's gone and we figure out where we're going for dinner or lunch. Anyways,
But pause. Because the thing you're leaving out is the night before, we did not talk about this. The night before, we both prayed the same prayer of whatever it is, make it so obvious.
that slap in the face.
And then we went up for altar call without knowing, said the same thing.
Same thing.
Make it so obvious. I can't miss it.
Then we have sat in these chairs for the last year, probably.
Yeah.
And it would just be us two. No one would come sit with us.
Yeah.
The people would say hi. I would say hi. How you doing? See you later. Can't wait to see you next Sunday.
Right.
And every youth that we had in our church that day pulled up a chair and sat around us.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, so it's youth.
Right.
Then Kathy, which is one of our pianists that plays, she goes, I think you need to be doing youth.
Uh-huh.
Well, technically, what she said is when
are y'all going to start youth?
doing youth.
And then Becca came to Lexi and was like,
all those kids over there,
they're yours.
That's yours. And I was like,
Then we went out to Whataburger for Aunriana's birthday. And Pastor was like, hey, I need to talk to you in the office when we get back.
Right.
And I was like, okay. He's like, it's all good. Just, I need you to come talk to us.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, Lexi wants to come, so she can. And I was like, before you say anything, I'm already going to tell you what you're going to tell me.
Yeah.
And you were like, youth. And I was like, yes. And that's how it became.
Yeah. That was pretty much
Within probably 48 hours.
right.
not even 48 hours.
No, it was
Like 36.
Right.
In a 36-hour period, it went from make it real obvious to, hey, it's real obvious.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
And I mean, even in since then it's been 2 weeks? In 2 weeks' time.
We've already had our first youth hangout.
we've already had the youth hangout. I have gotten together a binder, a lesson plan for the first month, and it's coming together easily and falling in place.
Yes.
Without having to struggle through it and fight for it and everything else.
Yes. Yes.
And she's going to go get her credentials.
Yes. Yes. And that's another thing that's so exciting.
Yeah.
That is cool.
And especially since the superintendent was like, yeah.
Yes. Right.
Like, no.
At first he was like, he posted on Facebook, congrats to Lexi, and so anyway, that is so exciting, and how quickly
everything has just so quick.
When God says it's time, it's time.
It is.
And you cannot be like Jonah and try to run from God's will. I mean, you can run, but you're going to end up in the belly of the whale. In other words, your life is going to be miserable running from God's calling on your life. And then guess what happened to Jonah anyway? He finally, he still got spit up on the shores of Nineveh, and you have to forgive a dog because he decided it's dinner time right in the middle of our podcast. But so that's the first lesson right there is if God has called you to a certain ministry or
a certain area in the
church, or whatever, don't run from that.
Right.
Yeah. Do not run from that. Just accept the call of God and do it with all your might.
Yeah.
Be
110% in it.
Yes. So I want you to know, guys, listen, that, yesterday we had a big celebration at the church. We had their commissioning, I guess is what you would say, the installment, especially as youth pastors. And then we had a dinner and after the service and just to celebrate Justin and Lexi and the new ministry that's coming up and that is here, not coming up, that is already here. And just celebrated them and all that God is doing at Cross Pointe. And I know I had at least one person come up to me and tell me, they're like, Pastor, I just want you to know I'm so proud of you. You are choosing the right people for leadership in this church.
Yes.
And of course they were referring to y'all.
Yeah.
And she was just all smiles and just excited, and everybody was excited.
Yeah.
And so that was just, to me, God's confirmation that we all had heard from God, right, and that this is the right decision.
Yes.
So I cannot wait to see what the future holds.
Yeah.
So, Aunriana, I want to make you talk for just a minute. Mm-hmm. So because you are a part of our youth and our young people, and you never really had a youth pastor to look up to before, how are you feeling about all this?
I feel that it is amazing.
Uh-huh.
And they're really good people, and I feel like they are going to be really good at this.
Awesome. You think it's going to be a cool future, huh?
Yeah.
Yep. So you heard it right there.
Now, mind you, she knew before everybody else did.
Yeah, she did.
She got insight, and the first question she asked was, are we going to do boring stuff or not boring stuff? I was like, I'll make sure it's real boring.
Right. Of course, all that Aunriana's our daughter, so the PKs give insider information. But so that's awesome. So y'all heard it from one of the youth, and it seems like all the youth that are coming right now, we only have maybe 7 or 8, but that's still that. It doesn't matter the numbers. And this is what I've been telling them, it does not matter the numbers. The growth will come just like the growth is coming to the church.
Yes.
As a whole. But the growth will come. And I'm encouraging them, focus on the souls. Mm-hmm. Focus on the encounter that these young people will have with the Lord, and then making those memories like I preached yesterday, right, making those memories. And so anyway, so we're going to springboard off of that and just talk about this for a little bit tonight. And in Matthew chapter 16 and verse 18, and it says, and Jesus says, I will also say unto you that you are Peter, and upon this rock I will build my church, and the gates of hell shall not prevail against it. Now, what I am so excited about is that kids ministries and youth ministries are not just a sideshow for the church.
Right.
I believe that our children's ministries and our youth ministries are a vital part of the church of today.
Yes.
Because they are the church of today.
Yes.
Like I told my church, I said, if we don't continue to invest into our kids and our youth in the future, we're not going to have a church. And so we've got to build upon the rock.
Yes.
And of course, our motto at Cross Point is pointing people to the cross. And we have to start building and discipling our kids and our young people and teaching them the ways of God and teaching them the importance of following the Lord, and not only following the Lord, but being faithful to church. And that it's not just a place to go, but it is a community that you are part of.
Right.
And so, my first question is the church ready for the future? We know that the future of the church is secure because Jesus is building it, and every local church must be willing to adapt to its methods while remaining faithful to its message. In other words, there may be a different way of doing things and packaging things, but the product is still the same.
Right. Right.
We got to think outside of the box, and so guys, panel, what excites you about the future? What excites you about our youth ministry and the future of the church?
So what really excites me is that, we get to pour into these kids that are going to become the adults that come behind us. And, we don't know which one, but one of our kids may take over kids. Doing kids. Somebody may take over media, and you don't know what calling is on their life, but to see it kind of come to fruition and then flow into that, and you get to encourage that.
Yes.
That's what's really exciting. I mean, for me personally, because most people know I didn't grow up in church.
Right.
I never had the youth experience.
Sure.
And I mean, the most that I got was in 5th grade. Our school had a before school, almost like Sunday school
Prayer group type thing.
Yeah, and it was on Wednesday mornings.
Right.
And I mean, the things that have come out of even just that I remember from that, my teacher at the time poured into me, and it took until I was like 10 in 5th grade, 10 or 11. It took until I was 24.
Okay.
And I reached back out to her and I was like, hey, is those things that you told me when I was in the 5th grade, I remember, and that has always set with me.
So you tell me, let me see if I understood you correct. So it wasn't like church, it was
Right.
a prayer group or a opposite group.
It was almost, I don't know how to explain it, because we would meet typically about 30 minutes before the start of school.
Okay.
And there would be like a short, 10-minute lesson or whatever.
Okay.
We would pray and then go and start our normal day. And
So kind of like
The pulpit has
Or
at the pole,
almost something like that.
Yeah.
we would do it at the pole, and it would be like 30 minutes before Wednesday before school started, and
Youth for Christ or Teens for Christ.
it was, there was different youth pastors would come in and preach, 10, 15 minutes. We'd pray around the pole, and then we'd go to school.
Sure. Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
So something like that.
Yeah. Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, that was the one thing that I can think back to that she poured into me, and now I get to pour in to other kids like she did me. And,
Sure.
it may take 10, 15 years for it to come back around.
Yeah. For sure. But it will though.
Right.
Yeah. It will. I
You
mean,
get to plant the seed and watch it grow.
Exactly. Talking about planting the seed, and some people are watering, and other people make it grow, and so that's awesome. Anybody else?
Specifically our youth group. I'm excited to see where they grow and their leaderships in our youth group.
Yeah.
What is Aunriana going to pick up and start doing? What is little Josh going to pick up and start doing? What is the other ones going to pick up and start doing?
Right.
That maybe we don't have to tell them, but once or twice, and they just automatically do it and be sowing themselves into the church and serving in the church without being told.
Yeah. Just having that passion and want to find.
Because that's where we started, is just finding something to do.
Yeah.
That we were good at.
Right.
And it was media.
Right.
And maybe that's one of the kids pick up. It's like, hey, I want to start running media.
Yeah.
I want to be up there with them on Sunday mornings running the camera.
Right.
Or doing the sound.
Sure.
or running pro presenter or whatever it may be,
Right.
out there with Junior greeting people as they come in.
Yes. Yes.
You know, that's
And as a pastor of the church, y'all can only imagine how excited I am to see this church after nearly 6 years, going on 7 years, finally starting to flourish. It's almost like the flower has come up and it started to expand. You know,
because what did y'all have when y'all first started?
10.
10 people.
And yesterday we had over 60, or right at 60. And so that's huge.
Yeah.
Huge. And, and it's like, now I'm praying. And like this morning when I went to the church for prayer, I'm praying, God, help us to continue to maintain these 60 and grow. Maintain who we have, but let's bring in more people. And that's what God is doing.
Yeah. Let's root those seeds.
Yes. Yes.
Not just let them blow away in the wind.
Exactly. And so it's exciting. So if you're listening and you live close by Sapulpa, come to Cross Pointe Church, 450 East Spear Avenue. No, it's not shameless.
Even if you don't live close by, because how far did Kathy drive?
I know Junior Kathy drive like 45 minutes.
Yep.
So, and they are here and probably more faithful than anybody in the church.
They're realistically.
Yeah, realistically.
Except for these past 2 weeks because they went on vacation.
Right.
Well, yeah.
They don't deserve a vacation. Yeah, they do. They do.
Yes,
they
they
deserve
do.
a vacation.
They very much so deserve a vacation.
Yes, they do. They do. But it's just amazing. Babe, what are your thoughts over there?
I'm just excited to see where the church goes. Talking about how, we're pointing souls to the cross. And, we were talking about Jamal and having that leadership conference with him. What are we doing in the community to plug that in and pointing souls to the cross?
Right.
Not only did he reach and talk specifically to Justin and Lexi, but he even looked at me and said, there's something that that you're running from. And what is that you're running from? And I think I know what it is, but then the point of it is like, but is that really, my heart is like, is that what it really is? And, a lot of it has to do with, fostering is, on my heart, we foster our 2 kids. And, I liked fostering, but is it only just fostering and opening our house up for kids to foster, just to bring them in? But is that all that I'm just supposed to be doing? Am I supposed to be actually getting involved with foster care and actually going into and getting with DHS, getting more involved that way, and actually getting involved with Savannah and doing more stuff with the shelter down there too. And so that's stuff that I've got to look into, and I've been praying more God too, saying, okay, God, give me open the doors and do stuff with that. And so there's been lots more, but also just opening and seeing everybody using their own to see what their own niche is, like Justin said, see what everybody's is, and see once we all start plugging in where our niche is, and we start doing it for the Lord, to see how much everything's going to prosper and grow.
Right. Amen. And I love that because I love hearing, there's 2 different ministries, but they could be under the umbrella of the church, and both sides of the table. I'm sitting here just smiling in my heart because I'm like, I hear the passion and the excitement in both of y'all's voices, all of y'all's voices,
Because I know it's not going to happen overnight, but it's been on my heart a lot, and I just more Grant and talk to him a little bit more, and I know has to go through the board and everything else, but we have all this land up here too, and maybe it's not to be open for our home, maybe God's closed our home, like our house is open right now for home, not received any calls for a foster baby, which is good. That means everybody's doing what they're supposed to be doing in their own house right now, which is a blessing. But maybe it's time that maybe I need to focus on maybe getting grants to build a foster home up here, like a foster, what was it called? A false shelter. That's for 0 to 5 years old or 0 to 6, to where I can just do that one age specific group, to where we know that we have the shelter for the older ones downtown, but we don't have anything for the babies to 2-year-olds, which is more I feel more comfortable with, to where if we had a house up here specifically for that had the big kitchen and stuff like that, and we were here and it was funded, to where I could pour my 100% 24 hours into that. And don't get me wrong, I love teaching, but I feel a shifting. Does that make a sense?
Mm-hmm.
I feel a shifting in my body and in my spirit, but I know it's not like going to happen overnight, but I feel that maybe that's where that's headed. But I know we've got to have grants and stuff to build it and to make it run and to be able to pay me to where I could be able to do that.
Right.
And so I'm wondering, okay, so is this where maybe Janelle was talking about? Is that what my passion is, to do that? So I've just been praying, and that was in my spirit today when I pray. And that's where the more we get deeper in God and just go after God more and get deeper in Him, then He's going to reveal that to us. So we can't just say, God, reveal it to me. We have to get on our knees before Him too and say, okay, God, this is me. I want to be deeper, but show me too.
Right. Amen. Amen. And then you're talking about that. And one thing that I have, and God is going to bring all of this together and make it all work. And it's all going to be, pointing people to the cross. Again, we've got our youth ministry. And then, the Bible tells us that this is true religion, taking care of the widows and the orphans.
And
that is the truest form of religion.
Sorry. And then also running from God. So our neighbor up here, Bub, said, and I'm running from this. And that's just because I'm a pastor's wife, but I'm not very outspoken and I'm very shy. Our lady up here who lives on the corner is on hospice, and God's just laid on my heart, I want you to go knock on their door and see if they need anything. I'm not yet went because I don't know them from Adam, and I don't want to just knock on the door and say, hey, do you need anything? I've heard that, Miss Tay is on hospice, but I've got to get over that and I got to obey. And so I think that along goes with taking care of the widows and the orphans, because she is a widow, and I know she has family, but she's also a widow too. And if we don't do that, that's part of what we're supposed to do. And I'm going over the book of James with Francis Chan, and that's what I was talking about today, is if we're not doers if we talk about the word, but we're not doers of the word, and we're not taking care of the widows and the orphans, then we're not doing what God's word says to do.
Right.
And it says, he even brought up in there in his word today, that as the church, there's over 1 million kids in foster care. And if there's millions of churches in this world, and if just one person would take a foster care kid, there would be no issues with foster care. And so it just brings that, sorry, I'm all crying. So, but that's how passionate I am about it. Because if we would do our part, what the word says, we wouldn't have this problem.
Right. Yeah. And I'm glad you brought up hospice, and I wasn't going to say anything, but I am now. Another thing that I would love to see up here, in addition to that, and then we're going to get back to this, but is a hospice house. I would love to have a hospice house up here. In the Tulsa area, there's only 2, and they're full constantly. And so to have one on this west side of Tulsa would be amazing. It would be full. And we have the property to build. And, whether we go through a grant or collab with, the Catholic Charities or whatever, and say, you've got the land if you've got the money. It's all about people. It's all about taking care of the widows and the orphans. And so that's the purest form of religion. So let's get back. Okay. So Justin, Lexi, what is the difference? What is the difference between Gen Z and Gen Alpha?
I don't know. I won't keep up with that stuff. I'm a country boy that doesn't know any of that.
Brown, what's the difference between Gen Z and Gen Alpha?
Oh,
The language.
The language.
The language.
Well, like, okay, so which one's Gen Z and which one's Gen Alpha? Is that like our littles are Gen Alpha?
Yep.
And then our youth is Gen Z? I'm a millennial. I don't understand.
Hold on. That's just like Josh was coming out here to get breakfast or something this morning. Me and Derek were up here trying to change light bulbs on the house.
Breakfast? It was lunch.
Well, lunch, breakfast. He was just waking up, and Sister Becca was like, "That's dope." And Josh flipped his head around. And, what'd you just say? And it was hilarious. There was something else. I said dope, but there was something else too. Yeah, I remember what I said.
That's good.
No, she said something.
There's another word I said, but I don't remember what I said. But I did say that's dope.
That's dope. And he flipped his head. Where'd you learn that at?
It's almost like a parrot.
Right. What did you just say? Right. I love it.
Probably. Well, so, okay. I don't know. Because Gen Z and Gen Alpha both have grown up with technology.
iPads.
I guess with Gen Alpha is what year? 2017?
Alpha?
Yeah.
It's like 2016, 2017.
I thought it was like 2013. I don't know because I thought the difference.
Hold on. Chat GPT.
You're not Gen Alpha.
I'm Gen Z. I was born 2012.
And I think our littles are Gen Alpha.
Yes.
Yeah, but what's the time?
It's like 20.
Because I think I was the last year of Gen Z. I think 2012 was last year.
Gen Z.
Okay.
Oh, you already got it.
Gen Z
Yes,
grew
I-
up with the smartphone, social media, and streaming services. Many are in high school, college, or starting careers. Experienced events like the COVID-19 pandemic during their school years. Gen Alpha, the first generation born entirely in the 21st century. Most have had tablets, smart devices, and AI technology available from a very young age. Many are currently in elementary or middle school.
Okay.
Oh, so you very skimmed as
Very. Yeah, it's the last year. Because 20.
Because I'm 83.
millennial.
You're like second year, however you say that, man.
Millennial.
Yeah.
Okay.
From we're millennial too.
Okay.
Gen Z is like the biggest.
Okay. So with all of that, great discussion. Great discussion. But with all that, I would say that every generation deserves to hear the gospel.
Yes.
Every generation in a language that they understand.
Yes.
Okay.
Your Generation Y.
You're Y.
Gen Z Bible.
You're Y.
Oh, I'm Generation Y.
Uh-huh.
Oh, okay. That's why. That's why. Okay.
Daddy's Y.
And so, with understanding today's young people, what would you think that are today's young people, what their greatest needs are?
I didn't hear you.
What are young people in today's society? What are their greatest needs?
Parents being more. That's not what I've involved in the church.
Or better revolve.
Better, yeah. More
Not just in church, but involved in their
their
lives.
lives.
Not put down the cell phone and actually do
Yeah,
stuff
don't
with
put their
it.
kid in front of an iPad and actually.
Listen, Justin can't say anything. 'Cause Justin is an iPad kid.
Hey.
Justin has
Generation.
Yeah.
iPad kid. But that, and then I also think like our kids need to, as much as the adults do too, but they need to unplug and essentially,
Get outdoors.
well, I was gonna say touch grass.
Yeah.
But
Get out
Touch grass, Aunriana.
Yeah, you need to get outside.
But that's the difference. I do get out and touch grass.
I know, but I was joking.
I think that's what it is, and we're even kind of guilty of that ourselves because our kids are teenagers and we let them go to their room and do whatever and get on that because it's like, well, they're teenagers, that's what they do. But I need to make them, and that's going to change this year. I'm going to make them unplug.
6 months.
One day a week, we're going to all unplug from our phones and go outside and spend time outside or play board games or something and just have family time. No cell phones, no nothing, just family time.
And two, entertainment is such like you can get it like instantaneous.
Right.
It's like some kids don't know how to wait. They want it and they're so used to getting whatever it is instantaneously. It's hard, I'm sure.
Just the other day at the store.
What the heck did you?
Even like our littles in Sunday school, if they're sitting and having to wait, they're ready to do the next thing immediately. They're like, okay, I'm done with this. I'm bored. My attention span is 5 seconds.
right.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Oh, so much. I filled in for Taffy yesterday.
Mine wasn't there. So
Yeah. And it's like, I wasn't even, and it's just like the first thing is, oh, it's you, we get to play. No. And it's like, that's what they want to play and just have fun. And feels like, no, so we're going to do our lesson. And then we're going to do what Sister Kathy did. We're going to get onto YouTube and we're going to find the sermon and we're going to listen to the first 10, 15
So it's almost like because of the technology that is always in front of them, just like it is with us, it's like their brains are just in overdrive. all the time.
All the time.
You know,
They don't know how to
Also-
slow down.
You have people, even adults,
Who's overdrive?
that are like that as the kids are. I need this now. Why, you're slow. Why aren't you going faster?
right.
I've seen it in restaurants.
Yeah.
I've seen it in stores.
Right. And our society is so fast paced. It's like 30 minutes for lunch and, this, and then you got to go to the next thing and then you go to the next thing. And you can't, and people in general, Yeah, and people in general just like they don't know how to slow down anymore and enjoy the moment.
Right. Well, it's just like she just said, it reminds you of school. And that's kind of like how it is at school. You have 90 minutes of class, then you go right back to 90 minutes of class, or you have 40 minutes of class, and you have 20 minutes for lunch, and then you have 15 minutes for a break, and then you go right back for 45 minutes, 45 minutes, 45 minutes, and then it's time to get out.
Yeah, right. And just constantly,
go.
yeah. So I think one of the greatest needs is providing an atmosphere where we can get away, where the kids, the young people can get away from all of the hustle and bustle and the technology.
Mhm.
I heard a pastor, this was years ago. I was at a conference one day. He said, there's going to come a time when all of the technology that's in the church is going to fade away. And people are going to want to come back to just old style church the way it was, because there's so much technology all around all the time. It's in front of our faces constantly, at work, at home, everywhere we go. And church is going to be a place of solitude again for people. And, he says, I firmly believe we're going to take down the big screens. We're going to just bring back the books, and people
style.
Yeah. And people are just going to come and sit in the church and be in the presence of God again and just breathe.
It's so nice to decompress too.
It is.
Have screens.
Yes. And I think that's a part of the needs of our generation coming up. So with that being said, again, and let's talk about, and not trying to rush through these things because we're talking about slowing down, but so when we're talking about this generation, why does authenticity matter more than perfection? Because our generation before us, even of my generation, presentation is everything. You have to look perfect. You have to be perfect. You have to speak perfectly. Everything has to be pomp and circumstance because presentation is everything. And so why with this generation is being authentic more important than being perfect?
Because I think there's a lot of fake people out there that can be perfect or quote unquote perfect.
Yeah.
And people are tired of that.
Yeah.
They want you to be blunt and honest with them versus fake and perfect.
Sure.
And I think the other part is they don't need examples of, well, let's use me and Justin as an example. Oh, we have this perfect life, and we have this, we have a nice truck, and we have a wonderful marriage and everything, where there is underlying, we have to work really hard to pay that truck payment.
Right.
Underlying, we have a great marriage, but that doesn't mean we don't argue.
Right.
And being real is saying, okay, here's the good parts, but there's also bad with the good. There are things underlying always, because you can get on Instagram and see somebody's quote unquote perfect life.
Right. Social media has destroyed our reality and our idea of what a
Perfect life. Yes.
And what the example are our kids getting? If all they see is perfection, it's like, well, my life doesn't look like that.
Right. And I want the kids to understand that nobody is on social media posting about the dirtiness of their life.
Right.
All the pictures that you see on social media is the upside of people's lives. And a lot of people, when kids look at that, like Lexi said, when kids look at that, they're like, well, my life is not perfect like that, or whatever the case may be. And that gives false impressions and false hope.
It very much does.
Yeah. So, sister, you've been quiet for a few minutes. So from your point of view, why, and people in your generation, why do you choose someone being authentic over them being perfect? She's asking, what does authentic mean?
Like original, like
Real, original.
Like, we would rather choose people being authentic than perfect.
Perfect. Yeah.
Authentic.
Do you need an example?
Yeah.
So instead of someone saying your hair looks pretty today versus, hey girl, you need to go get your hair done.
I think people are like that nowadays, that they want to be real, is because nowadays people, if you say, oh girl, your hair looks good and it doesn't, then they're gonna be like, you're fake. You never trust them again. Don't ask them for your opinion and stuff like that. People nowadays want you to be real and honest. I don't know what I'm saying. To be honest.
So you feel like that you want them to be honest with you, you need to change your shirt.
Yes, because if
Or-
you say you don't need to change your shirt and you really need to, they're just going to tell you that you're fake and
Right.
not ever trust you again.
Right.
What do you think that got this generation to that point?
Of being perfect or
Yeah.
being authentic.
I think a lot of it, they're just fed up. They're tired of being fake. They're so self-real that they're tired of even just people that care for them. They're supposed to care for them, have cut their self-esteem so down low that they just want to be truthful and want to know what it is whenever they should be that way in the first place. That they want that in the first place for the people who it should be from, who's not, and they just want it. They want you to be real with them.
Right. And in this young generation, I'll say this younger generation can point out a fake person
In a moment.
you know, quickly. So what keeps young adults engaged? Like, we're building this youth ministry. What's going to keep them engaged and keep them coming? And
Authenticity, or how you say that?
Authenticity.
authenticity.
Being real with them.
Yeah. Above everything else.
Above everything else.
Yeah.
Teach them the truth about the Bible.
Yeah.
Don't sugarcoat it and make something up that's not there.
Right.
And be really upfront just about what we've been through and, different situations we've been in that are actually real situations and where we can apply what we've learned.
Yeah.
And where we've grown.
Yeah. Awesome.
And I'll say that from previous, I won't say who it's from, but even there's people who I've known that, I can't believe you tell her personal stuff like that. And I'm like, she's my daughter. And I said, I wasn't ever told that. And how much it would have saved me if someone would have told me the truth when I was her age. Instead of protecting me and trying to keep me sheltered, I'd rather her hear it from me than go to the high school and hear it from someone I don't want her hearing it from someone else. I'd rather her hear it from her parent than from someone who's a teenager who may not even have the closest thing of explaining it to her how I'd rather her hear it.
Yeah. And the truth of the matter is like when we were growing up, the internet like me and my wife when we were growing up, we didn't have the internet for a long time. The internet was just now being introduced. And even if we had the internet was there, like in my family, we didn't have the internet in our homes. Like,
we had to go to the library.
You had to go to the library or school or whatever, and so we didn't have access to everything that our kids have access to. And so the majority, and I disagree with that individual saying that to you, because that individual raised children in that era where there was not a lot of access to a lot of things, and as opposed to today. And so I would rather my kids hear things from me, or if they have questions of things they've already seen or whatever, and have the
confidence to come to you.
Yes.
Right.
Come to me and my wife and say, hey, can you tell me about this? And I'm going to be real and authentic about whatever situation, because the fact of the matter is they've already probably have experienced it
or seen
it.
Social media
is
crazy when it comes to that kind of stuff.
Yes.
And there's things on social media that you can't believe it's not 100% true.
That's
and
true.
I'd rather them talk to me about it.
Right. Exactly. Type of things would push this generation away.
Fake people peak. I know it's obvious what we've been talking about, but it's true. Fake people.
Right.
People that you can't trust.
Okay.
And I think judgmental people.
Yeah.
And my last thing is, how can we as a church become a spiritual family to the young generation?
Invest in our young people.
Invest. People love you.
Put time into them. Don't just greet them and say, "Oh, hi, how are you?"
Yes.
How would it be to set up a time and say, "Hey, how would you like to call?" Or just to call up a teenager in your church and say, "Hey, I'd like to take you out for lunch this Saturday," or take a group of them, not just one. Just take a group of them and say, "Hey, I'd like to take the youth group for lunch, or the girls out for lunch, just to love on them."
Okay.
Or I'd like to take the boys to breakfast. One of the older men, just to invest in them and mentor them.
Right.
We don't have that in a lot of churches, and I think that would be so beneficial for them to hear from a older stand, someone who's wiser and has a lot of time and who's been a lot of years that they can learn from.
Yeah.
And mentor.
Yes.
I think too, and having patience, because there are some times where some people will be like, well, they're doing da 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 da.
They probably are doing
They are probably trying to swim in the pond. You are correct, but update. They're 15 and 16 years old. Let them do it. It's not
Not the end of the world.
They're
15 and 16-year-old. There used to be a dock out there, and we would rake the bikes off into the pond.
exactly.
Yeah.
So
Think back. What were you doing? You know.
you probably had a driver's license. You go with but I can't say. But anyways,
Yeah.
I can tell you what I was doing at 15, 16 years old. Sitting in my room on the internet.
on YouTube, making YouTube videos.
Well, when I was that age, we were, running the pastures and jumping in the creek and, throwing cow patties at each other. And
We were shooting each other with airsoft guns through the neighborhood and paintball guns. And different cops called on us because you were shooting
paintball guns.
about, and so like,
yeah.
I was having girls sleepovers, and then we were doing stuff that we weren't supposed to be doing
Oh.
in the swimming pool.
Oh.
We just called that would truth or dare. Oh, I always say we dare you go skinny dipping. We lived out in the country, so you couldn't see anybody in the dark, and we lived out in the country. We didn't have neighbors, so we did all that stuff when we were that. That's what 14 to 16 years ago. Dare you go skinny dipping in the backyard if you got a dare. So yeah.
That's why you never pick.
I mean, we don't recommend it.
Yes, we don't recommend that. No, because we were 13 to 14 years old. Now, would I recommend that? No, but I always pick.
We're not going to do that as a
No, we don't. Or do we go boat? Do we go boat? Take the youth group on a boat?
no.
And forget to fill out permission. Justin didn't do that. He sent us a TikTok right after he signed us, and it's of them doing a boat, and they
On a
on an inner tube, and they all went up in the air and did a flip. And he said, "Oh, by the way, here's this," and we forgot to send out the permission slip form saying
The printer was broke at the church. Sorry.
the printer was broke at the
But all the
church.
kids
So-
are baptized, so that's a win-win.
but it didn't happen. No, but no, there's just all fun and games here tonight.
Well, guys, thank you so much for joining us, and I hope that this episode was encouraging, and I know it was encouraging for us because we're excited about what's happening
Yes.
at Cross Pointe. And again, please come and join us if you live in the area and at 450 East Beer Avenue. We'd be so glad to have you as a guest and a family member
Yes.
of our church.
Bring us juice.
Bring you, come through the gate.
Yeah.
You have to come through the gate.
Yeah, come
Because
through the gate.
Google will take you to the gate.
Yes, drive on through the gate, drive on through the compound, and but God bless you. We love you. Thank you for being so. We're praying for you every day. We love you. God bless you. Y'all say bye.
Bye.
We'll talk to you again soon.
Ace, do you want to say bye too? Okay. Bye.